What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Tsunami Bomb. And we're going back to the 2019 album, The Spine That Binds, on Jello Biafra's Alternative Tentacles label. And yes, I've talked about this before, so I'll try to be brief, but this is a reformed version of the band, which includes a couple of the founding members, including Oubliette. Shout out to her, she commented on one of the previous reactions for this album. But yes, it was originally a 5-piece, some members came and went, and eventually, in the early 2000s, I discovered them, and by that time, Emily Whitehurst, or Agent M as she was known then, had become the lead singer. I saw them play an opening set for, was it Rise Against? Was it Anti-Flag? It was one of those bands, and the opening set made a big impression on me. It caught my ear, made me want to seek out whatever they had put out, and I found their Definitive Act album 2004, which I enjoyed, but then they seemed to, disappear, and I understand they would eventually disband, and it wasn't until the mid-2010s when they reformed. There was still some lineup alterations that took place. I think they released a couple EPs, and then they coalesced around a 5-piece again with, as I said, a couple of the original founding members back from the 90s, and released The Spine That Binds in 2019 with a new singer. I believe Kate is her name. So yes, ultimately we're up to the tune Sinkhole, which is a very apt term to use for metaphorical or figurative meaning, the idea of a physical plane which then sinks down and pulls things down into it, which looks like a solid surface but which becomes an abyss and can trap anything which tried to traverse over it. And in that regard, it feels like the perfect fertile ground for interpersonal metaphor, psychological metaphor, perhaps political metaphor. But yes, the idea of a place which, from a glance or on the surface, seems like it is steady and solid, but which in fact has a depth, and things which enter into it end up descending and maybe getting buried. So let's see what it is in practice. This is Tsunami Bomb. The track is Sinkhole, and it's from their 2019 album, The Spine That Binds. Oof, I like it. And I especially enjoy those keyboard chords that are very, supporting. They're not like the main melodic feature of the track, but when my ear caught them, I especially enjoyed the accompaniment they provided. And yeah, I feel like it is using Sinkhole as a metaphor, but maybe more narrowly than I thought, and seemingly specifically in the context of modern life, maybe even more narrowly modern urban life, and even more specifically perhaps a particular city, and the idea that the city, because of the intensity, the human motion and energy and complications, that you can get caught in this maelstrom and pulled down, and she wishes she could change her direction, but it's a long way down. So yeah, I feel like it perhaps speaks to the difficulties and the trappings, the downward pulling forces of modern urban life, and the way it's hard to get a foothold to control your own inertia, or keep yourself on a functional level. And there's some lines about the sky and so on, so I didn't catch everything clearly, and I'm not sure whether some of it is strictly visual, though I would guess even lines that have a visual referent are probably functioning on multiple levels and have figurative meaning. I do very much enjoy the vocals. I think we hear two voices here, and I like the way they play off of each other. And there's a couple moments with the lead vocal, which again I'm assuming is Kate Jacoby, is that right? There's some really nice melodic turns, and then, as I said, I enjoy the way the other vocal, is that Oubliette? I'm not sure. I enjoy the way they play off of each other, and have that kind of polyphonic rhythm where they're overlapping each other. And yeah, it has energy. It has a good groove to it. It's not, it's not like a slow like punk ballad type tune, but it's not overly fast and caustic. It's sort of in the middle melodic punk type of range. So very much enjoy that. Looking forward to getting back on track. I hadn't reacted to either version, so to speak, of Tsunami Bomb in a while, but I will try to keep them on the semi-regular rotation, and we'll get through the remainder of this album. We're I'd say about a third of the way through at this point, so lots more to go. Shout out once again to Tsunami Bomb in all their forms, and to Jello and his excellent and now very long-running Alternative Tentacles label. Let me know what you think. I'll see you for the next one. Peace.